Hi everyone, it's Leslie here from Stampin' Up with Elegant Edges, and today I've got a little thank you card to make using Celebration products that come actually free with items with an order from mini catalogues. So we'll talk about that in a little. If you haven't heard, it's all on my Facebook group, Stampin' Up with Elegant Edges, all the details, and they come in £55 chunks. So if you have an order for £55, you can order one of the lower priced items in here. And if you have a bigger order, make it up to 110 and you can either get one of the higher ones or two of the lowers. And those are from the annual catalogue or the mini catalogue. Okay, so very excited about these. And so today I'm going to show you how I started. I had some free products from the Celebration, and this was my first choice product. Okay, this lovely heart-shaped stamp, and it's a stamp and die cut bundle. Here are the dies. There's an extra one that I'm going to be using in a moment, and these are the beautiful stamps. Photopolymer, so you can see exactly where you're stamping, which is really useful for this heart shape. I love all the leaves and the little flowers, and of course you can overlay this lovely heart-shaped die. That would fit beautifully over the top. Okay, you've got some embellishments on here. You've got flowers, you've got a mat for this lovely little leafy foliage thing, and you've got extra boughs of foliage, and there's a mat for some of these stamped sentiments. So I'm going to be putting that somewhere safe before I lose the dies, and I'm going to be using those and the stamps. I'm going to be using the thank you one today. So I took my inspiration from this page, and in particular this card on here, and that's what Stampin' Up posts them for. That's what our artisan design team make them for, is to inspire us. So I started with this one, and I decided that I would actually change the orientation. I love this. This is obviously done with blending inks and sort of using duct tape or masking tape. Some people call it painter's tape around the edge, but I've used actual layers of cardstock, and then I've taken some other designer series paper. Lo and behold, is another item on here, this one here. Look at those beautiful colours. Got the front and the back of them all, and they really are absolutely gorgeous. I won't get them all out because it'll be too much on my desk. They are absolutely stunning. They come with a £55 order. The stamps and the dies, because they're really two in a bundle, they're a larger order. Okay, so I'm going to be using those items today. So that was my inspiration. And I always need thank you cards. I'm very behind with sending out thank yous to lovely customers who have been very kind and ordered through me in my Stampin' Up store. LeslieKilbyStampin'Up.net. This is how to get to my store. So I'm going to show you not exactly how I did this, but I'm going to change it up yet again. This is a very simple one with layers. Okay, so I have used, I've got half-size card base, and to make this one I use 5 3/4 by the width of A4. You just do half a sheet of your normal size paper scored in half, and that will give us a portrait style card. I was going to go turn it again, which is as it was in the catalogue, and then I thought, do you know, I'm going to change it up yet again. So I chose my half going the other way, scored it in half at 5 3/4, then again in half, folded it back, and I've got mats and layers. This is the same size, so you just choose one that's pleasing to you. Okay, so mine is about 1/4 of an inch smaller, so mine will be 4.5 by 3 7/8, but you choose one that matches yours. Then I've gone down a tiny bit, so instead of having 1/4, this is probably 1/8 of an inch smaller, and you can see exactly what I've done here. I took those dies And because this bit doesn't show, I've actually cut them out of the middle, which is great for conserving paper. If you're a new card maker, you know, we do tend to be a bit mean, or frugal as we like to say, with our paper and make the best use of it. No one is going to see that, so I'm going to cover that on top. So I'm going to actually do that as we go. So I'm going to layer this. Whoops. Now I'm using wet glue. Yeah. Maybe I should have filled this up before I come. This is our all-purpose glue, available from Stampin' Up. I just pop it into these little containers with a fine nib. Stampin' Up now do their own, which is brilliant. But I've been doing this for so long, I have a huge stock of these that I bought from one of the online marketplaces. So I'm still using what I've got. Now, to layer that, I don't need to stick it all over, otherwise I would cut up my fancy fold. I only need to go halfway. So if you notice, new people, fingers where it joins, so I'm only going to be putting glue on the bottom half. Now, you could use dimensionals, but in the UK, our postage is quite expensive, and the thicker your cards, the more they kind of cost. It goes from our basic rate to a much higher rate card. If you're at all worried, pop something underneath. Just to make sure that you don't get glue on there. Just remove it, adjust, make sure that you're straight. Doesn't look too bad. Stick it down and check. What you do want to see is glue oozing out here. If it is, wipe it off quickly. So there's my base. Then I've got another mat of the thin basic white, and I've just run this through an embossing folder. Any embossing folder will do, but there is a very pretty one in the Celebration catalogue. Now I haven't got it, but it looks lovely. You know, we're all on a budget, and mine just would not stretch to another Celebration item. I've gone past it. I think I probably have. It looks really pretty. What do they say? More haste, less speed. That's it in there. Ah, that's why. No, it's not in that one. There it is. It's called Starstruck. Let me hold that up in case you can just see this beautiful sort of starry, flowery pattern. And you could use it either way, embossed or debossed, and of course in either direction, which is really useful for some projects. This one will also, you can also use it either way, but I think it's retired, this one now, so I won't give you the details. But if you don't have many embossing folders, that would be a good one. Okay, so I am just going to pop this down. Now, the reason I like wet glue with embossed card is because these are really quite deeply embossed, and the wet glue gets into those little crevices, so I don't have to worry which way up my embossing panel is. That's it, just pop it down there. Okay, so let me put my embossing folder to the side. So I've got some other little bits I've die cut just for speed. Now this one was the waste from the inside. I'm not throwing that away, I'm going to hang on to that. Might be useful, so I'm going to put that to the side. This is the waste from today. And when you cut those pretty hearts out, Look how dainty they are. So I'm going to pop those here, just overlap them a little bit, like that. And because I've got wet glue, all I have to do, I mean, I could have used the double-sided adhesive that will stick down all difficult shapes, but I quite like the leaves sticking up. So I'm just literally dotting. I think it's so pretty cutting from the designer series paper. And I'm just going down the main stem. You could of course do a few odd leaves, literally just dotting. And less is best with this. You don't really need very much at all. Okay, wouldn't that make a lovely anniversary card? You could do it in gold for a golden wedding, silver, and you know, just keep going. It's beautiful. So with the die sets, you get this one, which is obviously to cut out some of the words, like this one, just because I care. So I'm going to show you with this extra thank you one I cut. I cut it out, and obviously it's a bit short because I didn't need it very long. So to make a smaller mat for my words, I literally just slide it up, making sure I keep it within the tracks. This is just a hint for new card makers. Always stick it down and then run it back through your die cutting machine, and lo and behold, you will get a nice shorter mat. You can do the same with your coloured one. If by any reason your stamp is bigger and you need a bigger mat, you can just cut it in half. If you've gone to the, you know, the biggest size, do with your white one, just make a little cut in the back, stick one end one side, one the other, and that's how to lengthen it. Let me put that to one side. And for this one, I've got just because I care. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down. Trying to get it in the middle. It's not quite even, so another thing about the wet glue is you can have a little squeeze and move it down. So what would be really nice is if I lifted that on dimensionals. I'm actually being really mean, and this is taking quite a lot of, I put it in the middle I think for a change. There we go. And this time, instead of a basic flat card, we have a sort of funfold card. You can see from the top, and it stands really nicely. Inside, to decorate, what I would probably do is just put a little strip of the same paper along the edge. You could put a little bit of one of the dies, not this one, a die cut inside. Even a little fraction of it would look really nice. You could put it over here, down that side. The inside will look quite nice and would use your waste. Okay, so that is how I made my lovely thank you card, or just because I care card, with the new celebration products from Stampin' Up. If you've been kind enough to order from me recently, I'm a little behind with my thank yous. You may well get some of these in the post as a kit to make up as a thank you from me. Thank you very much for watching. Come back soon. Bye.